Greetings, everyone. We are headed out to the desert. We're going to go around our trail and sit at a table in the Ocotillo field and have a little fireside chat. And then I'm going to set up the camera for a time-lapse video for tonight. So I'm having to watch for rattlesnakes because it is rattlesnake season. It's our first one yesterday. And even though our dogs do have rattlesnake aversion training, clearly Kira has interest in them when she sees them. She says, I like sniffing rattlesnake butt. So I keep my eyes out, my ears. So this is the part of the trail that goes around the perimeter of our property. Claire's cut cactus bloom closing for the night. We'll show you the mountain. All right. Trileaf Sumac, I think that's what that's called. She sees her ball. You see your ball? Yeah, you see your ball? The sun's getting lower. Hopefully I can have the little fire started and the wine poured before the sun goes down. I love the color of the mesquite tree this time of year.
Okay. Good girl. Volley forward. Atta girl.
Come on, Kira. This way. Hey. Get out of there. Come on. At least I can keep easier eye for rattlesnakes. Come on, Kira. Let's go.
Good girl. Volley forward.
Come on, Kira. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Yeah, a lot of the yucca around the neighborhood are blooming, but I don't see any of ours blooming. Or signs that they're gonna bloom. They didn't bloom last year either. Come on, get out of there. Kira, let's go. Good girl. Hey, this way. Getting closer to the Ocotillo field. There's an Ocotillo, little blooms, bloom buds on the tips.
Volley forward. Good girl. Let's go. Come on. I know.
I hear some quail. Kira knows what we're doing because I have the rattly backpack on. Well, the backpack's not rattling. It's what's in the backpack that's rattling. They know. Both the dogs know. It's at good times when we come down here. Welcome to the Ocotillo field. Yeah, the Ocotillo are getting little green leaves. Looking pretty cool. Some have bloom buds. They're going to bloom soon. I'm going to prickly pear, getting some new growth, bloom buds.
Okay.
And here's our table in the Ocotillo
Volley
field.
What's wrong?
Ocotillo field.
Do you have something in your foot?
So we're going to enjoy the sunset. So by the time we get to this point in the trail, we're actually pretty close to the house. See my pretty garden, all my peach trees, pomegranate trees. You can see the beautiful mountain. And now the focus is on the sunset.
I can figure that out, can't I?
Our favorite wine, this Innocent Bystander Moscato. Pop the top. Ice, yes. Little ice. You gotta wait. All right. This is what the puppy dogs are waiting for. We think they're disgusting, but the dogs like their beef trachs. Yes, they do. One for Kira and one for Volley. Their evening snack. I hope you have a good view there. Last one for David. Here you go. And then for me. We're wussy wine drinkers. This is like 5% alcohol, but we enjoy it. This is our first hot week. It's kind of nice. I enjoy the changes of the season. Hopefully the heat coming in will end windy season finally. We hit 65.1 mile an hour gusts yesterday. Kind of was reminiscent of a microburst we had when we were living in New York. It was just a normal windy event, kind of a windy day. It was, getting up around 35 miles an hour, which is pretty typical for our windy season. Then it got real quiet. Then it got really noisy. Like, for a few seconds I was worried it was going to be a tornado. It was just like, whoa, and then the house shook. And then the wind whipped around the house, and I'm pretty sure everything in the Backyard ended up in the front yard. The yard meaning the perimeter right around the house. That's it. You're done. No. No, you're done. All done. Yeah. Kara says, I'll have as many as you give me. Yes, I did.
No, fortunately, Nikki stayed put.
What?
When we had that micro event in New York,
Oh.
Nikki was in his bird cage hanging out under the eaves.
Nikki was our cockatiel.
I tried to go out and get him, and it was so windy I closed the door. He was safer where he was than me trying to drag him in.
That was a big cage. Okay, Kira, go on. Go lay down. Go on.
It was like something out of the Twilight Zone. You open the door, and it was just like...
I wouldn't have wanted to open the door
Another-
yesterday when that blew through.
Opened the door into another universe. Yeah, yesterday was pretty intense.
So yes, Kira, you usually take longer than Volley. Yeah, I know. I know. All right.
I'm not sure whether we've had a higher wind than that.
Here?
Yeah.
I think we hit 70. Okay, go lay down.
Considering it's prone to get windy at night. Yeah, no real telling.
I think the dogs are enjoying that.
Would you give them another one?
Your dog's still eating it, so I went ahead and gave Kira another one.
And you think Volley's going to consider that to be fair?
Of course not.
So how do you deal with that now?
I have another one.
You give Volley another one, and then
They're
Kira's
small. I brought the small ones. No.
and then Kira's going to consider that not to be fair.
But your dog is so busy eating hers, I don't think she cares. Her eyes are closed. Hadn't heard the owl in a while.
I know.
It'd be nice if we have a little bit of rain. Might happen next week. Help green things up a bit. Kira's looking for the owl. She knows it sits on top of the chimneys. Somebody mentioned the like 5 love languages, or the 5 languages of love, or 7 languages of love. I guess there's all these books about it. Yes. And I have a different take on it. Yeah, I know flowers and chocolate are supposed to be gifts that are good to give to somebody, and spending quality time is obviously critical, whether it's a parent-child relationship or spousal relationship, you know, really any meaningful relationship. Quality time is critical. I think we all define quality time a little bit differently. Okay, go lay down. Go on, back up, back up. But I guess we've been together, what, 34 years now?
And counting, I guess.
And counting.
And it's lie down.
What's what?
Tell the dog to lie down.
Go lie down. Go lie like a dog. Yeah, go lie like a dog.
She doesn't know what you're asking her to do with.
If I don't use
with
proper
her
grammar.
Bad grammar, yeah.
Okay. All right, puppy. Go lay down. Go on. Come on. Good girl. Yeah. In our 34 years together, we have spent a majority of our time together. We worked together. We do everything together. We work out together. We go on walks together. We go on hikes together. We play together.
Working out together is more like parallel play, though.
I think that's quality time.
Yeah.
I like parallel play.
Okay. We certainly don't work out together
No.
because I'm too slow.
Well,
So I go do my
You
particular.
spend 40 minutes on the treadmill that I don't spend.
Well, but anything else. I mean, when we worked out at Gold's Gym, it was because you're too slow. It's kind of like, well, fine. I'll go over here in this corner and I'll be too slow. And I will enjoy myself.
Well, I like to move around.
Okay. Like I said, it was parallel play. I was over in my corner and you were flitting around in your little world.
And now we have a gym up in our casita, and we do the same thing. It's still parallel play.
Absolutely.
And a lot of our time during the day is parallel play. He's reading what he's reading, and I'm reading what I'm reading.
About a decade ago, I vowed I wasn't going to read anything that was good for me. And I've kept to it strenuously, rigorously.
So you were asking me about the pictures of the late 17th century, early 18, or
Yeah, early 18th century, high fashion.
no, 1800s.
No, excuse
Late
me.
1700s, early 1800s.
Yeah, 19th century, excuse me. Got my centuries mixed up.
Yeah, I know. I do that too. So were you reading about that? Something?
Yeah, I always read about stuff like that. I mean, and it's kind of like, it's not like I can just like go get a good description on the internet. You know, you get let me describe this picture to you, sort of.
Well,
But,
I think from that time period, though, one of the problems with describing it in detail that would be good for a blind person would be possibly inappropriate language to use on the internet.
Well, no, I mean, you'd have the same problem today if I, didn't know how people dress today. I mean, the way you describe clothes, I mean, it's kind of like, well, yeah, I mean, if you can't see it, I mean, having described somebody wearing t-shirt and blue jeans. They'll say they're wearing a t-shirt and blue jeans.
Yes, but Elon Musk's t-shirt and blue jeans is different than my t-shirt and blue jeans.
But my point still is, if you've never seen t-shirts and blue jeans, if you're live 500 years in the future, I mean, and somebody says they're, whatever, I mean, what does that really mean?
Good point.
And shows, clothes change, styles change rather dramatically, especially, I mean, you saw what you were looking at, how dresses change from, one decade to the next, hairstyles.
Yeah, I found just how rigid and cumbersome it all was. Well, it was about status.
Sure. But rigid and cumbersome, yeah.
Well, if it takes you an hour to get dressed with a maid,
Well, okay.
with a servant helping you get dressed,
Well, yeah,
just to go tell the other maids what to do.
Well, yeah. But that was daytime dress. That wasn't formal dress. Formal dress, you had to get really serious.
Ridiculous to me. Give me my t-shirt and blue jeans or t-shirt and yoga pants any day.
Yeah, but I remember when girls had to wear dresses to go to school. And it was really, I don't know what was called endearing when they let them wear culottes.
My mom made me wear dresses and tights and shoes. Like, I just want to put my kids on. Yes, I liked my kids. Hey there, puppy. Yeah. And no doctor, puppy. You gonna lick it? You slobbered the camera. You slobbered the camera. Yeah. What are you looking at? Huh? What do you see? I don't see anything. She's looking for the owl.
So you were talking about your language of love.
Languages of love, yes. But we're not into those formal things. I mean, we spend so much time together that what defines quality time? I mean, our time together is quality. But I think some things that are important to me that are expressions of love languages, are if I go to leave the house, you say, be careful. If you go to do something, even go up to the casita to work out in the gym and I'm not going with you, be careful. That's our way of saying, I love you, bye. One of the interesting things we needed to work through as your vision deteriorated was communicating where each other was so we didn't run into each other. I'm not one for having lights on in the house. And since he's blind, he doesn't need lights on in the house. So after listening to the Little Nash Ramblers song where they're going beep, 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 we started beeping at each other. And I don't know, that was just kind of weird. It was funny at first. Hey, 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 Kira, back up. Go on, go lie down. Go lie down, go on. But our nicknames for each other are Papa and Mama. I know it sounds kind of trite, but such is life. And so if we're walking around, if he doesn't know where I am, he'll just say Mama, and then I say Papa. No, careful. And that's kind of like we've kind of expanded on that. Just our way of even asking each other how you are is Mama or Papa. Hi, Papa. How are you, Papa? And of course we say, I love you, Papa. I love you. Another thing that's kind of become our routine is I get up and make coffee in the morning and I bring him his coffee. And that's an expression of love.
In bed, no less.
In bed, no less, yes. And I make it just the way you like it, in the cup just the way you like it. That's an expression of love. I love him, so I try to do the way he likes it. In his sippy cup. And the handle has to be the right way. I do that, because I love you.
Well, yeah. And because I might spill it if I start trying to twist the lid around to where it's right.
Okay, that too.
And I am your chin scratching post. Yeah.
And then usually when we're drinking our coffee, we're each on our own computers, but it's more parallel play. He's doing his thing on his computer. I'm doing my thing. Usually start off with Wordle as the caffeine kicks in.
Everybody's trying to type with one hand because we're holding hands.
That's usually what we do is we hold hands. And it's nothing that we verbally communicate. We just do it. Doing this fireside chat is a love language because, it's an expression of love from him because this just isn't Papa's thing. But he's humoring me by joining me. Kira. And of course, his puppy dog enjoys the goodies. I don't know, it's kind of hard to think about all the different ways that we do just those little things that are expressions of love.
Well, it's more than that. I mean, if you're not actively working on the relationship, you're slacking, and you're going to pay for it.
Yeah, I think to have a good relationship that lasts, you have to always work on the relationship. If you're not, you're growing apart.
And that shouldn't be a chore. I mean,
I don't find it a chore.
I'm just saying, it shouldn't be a chore. It's going to turn into a chore if you don't work on it.
Right. Okay, here's the ultimate in love language expression. So when he gets a new guide dog, he's gone for 3 weeks. And when he's done for the day, which I don't know, what is it, after dinner? After you guys have dinner? You guys are done?
Mm-hmm. Well, pretty much. Sometimes not.
So he would...
There is an awful lot of sitting around.
Well, you would call me before bed. And we would talk. until I fell asleep. And what I learned, I don't remember why. I think I actually woke up and you were still on the phone. And we were talking again. And you said, yes, I was just listening to you snore. It was kind of comforting. I'm like, what's comforting about listening to somebody snore?
Because I've been doing it for 30 years. Fortunately, you don't snore like the dog does.
Oh my goodness, Kira can snore up a storm.
Oh man, she's a parody of snoring.
But you don't snore too much either.
Who does?
You don't.
Well, that's good.
You might ramble, but you don't snore. So Alexa said it was going to be 88 degrees at 8 o'clock. I don't think it's over 70. Hey Siri, what's the temperature?
It's about 79 degrees outside.
I don't believe it.
That lying Englishman.
They're all lying. What? You hear the cardinal? Man, the fire's going out. It didn't last very long. It's hot.
Your fire's gone out?
The fire went out. It's out?
Your itty bitty teeny weeny fire?
It works. My little solo stove. It cooks a mean lunch too. Yes, it does. You still looking for the owl? I haven't heard it, Kira. I haven't heard it in weeks. When did we last hear it?
I don't know. I think you and the dog heard it, and I didn't one time because I hadn't heard it in months, I don't think.
Hopefully they didn't get poisoned. No indication of bird flu in the area, so that's good. What?
Yeah, there's probably a lot of rat poison in the rats, though.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we don't poison the rats. Nope, we just chase them away. Yes.
Do we chase them away?
Huh?
Do we chase them away?
Well, the dogs do.
I just figure as long as they stay outside, who cares?
Go on. Go lay down. Go on. Go.
And they seem pretty good about that.
Hmm?
As long as they stay outside, I don't really care, and they seem to be pretty good about that.
Mm-hmm. Because they don't chew on our house or chew on our car or whatever. They can do whatever they want.
They sure chew on our cacti.
Yeah, they've really done a number on the one behind me. So I was thinking about setting up the camera time-lapse underneath the Ocotillo, just looking up.
Yeah.
But I'm afraid the rats would take it. They can walk off with the darndest things.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure I'd leave my camera where a rat could walk off with it.
So just leave it on the table here.
Don't know. They might walk off with it there.
Oop, moth in my face.
Yeah. Just,
No,
I'm
I don't.
serious.
I don't think they can get up on this table and walk off with it.
Well, but if they do,
I think it'll be okay. I think it's a good spot to do it.
they're known for their intelligence.
Yeah, they usually takes them a few days to go after something, though. Kira still has 4 balls in the driveway that hadn't taken off of those yet.
I think they've gotten tired of taking off her tennis balls. It's kind of like I had to move 3 times because my den's all full of tennis balls. Or my warren, is that what it's called?
Mitten.
Mitten.
What are you doing, dog? All done. You're all done. Yeah, you're all done. All done.
Remember that pack rat mitten down towards the into the driveway that always had 2 or 3 tennis balls around it?
Yep. It doesn't have any right now. And there's 4 tennis balls in the driveway, so I guess that rat's gone.
Either that or it's full of tennis balls. Doesn't have any room for more.
I figure they must not be getting in my garden because they hadn't taken any of the pieces of tin foil. So I don't know what that's all about.
I thought those crows that like tin foil.
The rats do too. Yeah. You hear the quail or is it the moth?
Or
I
if
hear
there's
it.
dogs over there.
I heard the owl. Oh, there's a moth flying around.
Yeah, something. Felt like something.
Oh, them moths are smacking me in the face. I heard the owl.
Yeah, Robbie was asking me the other day whether we had scorpions around here.
We do, the bark scorpions. They're tiny.
I told him we probably have tons of them, but as long as they stay out of the house, who cares?
Remember when we took that light fixture down?
Yeah, I told him about that. Went to change a light bulb and what were there, 20 or 30 dead scorpions in there?
A few spiders.
Now that light bulb might have been 20 years old. But boy, that meant that those suckers were up in the attic area, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if they're up there,
Well, there's no way to get to them.
well, I don't see any signs that they're getting in the light fixture now.
I mean, like I said, that light fixture might well have, that bulb might have been 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
The previous owner may never turn that light on, and it's not like we did much.
But our first...
But how would they get up there?
Yeah.
I guess they climbed up the outside wall of the house.
I guess, up in the eaves, through something, I don't know.
I never heard of scorpions hanging out in attics.
But our first year, we also had like 3 scorpions in the house. And then we haven't had any in the house that I'm aware of since then.
Yeah, maybe too much activity. I don't know.
Could be. Because we're definitely active.
Well,
What you doing, puppy? Yeah, what you doing? So you getting cold?
no.
Yeah.
It would be if I weren't wearing my jacket, but
Somebody's shooting off in the desert. Boom, 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 boom.
oh man.
Probably behind a mountain.
I hadn't heard as much gunfire the last year or so as we heard
I know.
earlier. It used to almost sound like a war zone. You just get used to it. Remember when we lived in town near the desert, man?
It was like, duck.
Somebody even had a fully automatic rifle.
They were close.
Yeah.
I hear the owl, but it's really far off in the distance. So I guess the fire is out. The sun is long set. So those are Doniana Mountains off in the north. Tortugas Mountain off to the west. The Ocotillo Field. And then the Organ Mountains. Yes. And the Puppy Dog. The Puppy Dog Mountains. You the Puppy Dog Mountains, huh? You the Puppy Dog Mountains? I didn't bring my light. I can't see you in the camera. Yes, I know.
Well, so how are we going to get back to the house
What do you mean?
without a light?
Well, probably ought to go ahead and I'll switch over. Well, I hope you enjoyed our fireside chat. It's starting to get dark and chilly, and I want to be able to see the rattlesnakes, so.
Yeah, you kind of petered out on your language of love.
I know.
I guess we weren't working at it.
I guess we're not working on our love language. Well, we'll have to follow up with some more love language
We
things.
must be slacking off.
Kind of hard to think of them, on the fly. It's just stuff you contemplate throughout the day. Bringing somebody a meal, a cup of coffee. He'll start the tea water. I make the tea. Quail off in the distance. I don't know, just time like right now is just quality time together. It's not complicated. It's just enjoyable. I don't know if this will show up, but the stars are starting to show up. Well, I hope you all have a wonderful night. Feel free to comment below on the things that you do that are expressions of love to the people that you care about. Have a great night.